Chiang. My name is Wei Chiang, and for IBM's Cortex team, which is open source for data and AI. My GitHub ID is Adrian555. I'm a contributor to the Kubeflow project. So let's get begin for the Kubeflow development environment. So I believe you already finished the Kubernetes, Git, GitHub, in some of the Golang, modules, right, in the Kubeflow dojos repo, and you have some idea about what's the Kubernetes and cloud clusters, as well as using the Git and GitHub to do the source code version control in the development. So development language of the Golang, as well as some of the Python stuff as well. Excuse me. So for the Kubeflow project deployment environment, it can be run on any OS system like Linux, Mac OS, or Windows. Just whatever you prefer. It can run on a laptop or a VM or any machines that you have the enough the CPU and RAM to build a source code and run some tests there. And for the Kubeflow, it's all on the github.com repository, and it uses the Git as the source code version controlling. So you can push, you can commit, and you can check out all the source code and so on. Because we are talking about this is a cloud native project, and so many of the stuff, the components, applications is actually running with some of a container image. So you need to have the knowledge about the Docker and using the Docker engine to build and push the container image to some of the Docker registry. For the coding languages, you're using it depends on the projects. For example, for the control plane, Kubeflow is mostly using the Golang language, and then for the pipelines projects in Kubeflow, it's actually the SDK has more of a Python language written. So you can use. So it depends on the projects that you may need to consider. Whether you are already familiar with the language or if you want to learn the new language and so on. Of course, doing the coding and programming, you would need a good IDE, so you have your favorite IDE installed on your development environment. And then with that IDE, you can do the coding as well as doing the unit tests. With the unit test, you also writing the unit test cases with any code functions or features that you developed. Then once you have all this environment set up and you have do some coding and build and so on, then you have you need to run some run and debug with the Kubeflow deployment and Kubeflow pipelines and so on. You want to try out. In that time, you need to have a deployment environment, which because it's a cloud native, so you need to have some sort of a cloud cluster. Either it's on your local VM or laptop as a Minikube, or it's a remote cloud cluster on, for example, on AWS, on GCP, or on IBM Cloud, and so on. This is all the requirements for development environment setup. So we will go through this one by one. Go to the next. So first thing is about the Git and GitHub. I believe we already finished this the module for that. This is just a quick summary of the what you need to know. And so to install Git, that you just follow the instruction here to install the Git and so on and getting started. And then for the on the Mac OS, you can actually just run the brew install Git. And for the GitHub, you also have the access to the github.com. So you need to create a GitHub ID if not yet, and to access the github.com. And then you also you can go through the GitHub's documentation to see what you need to do there. to have yourself to gain access to the github.com so that you can access the Kubeflow repositories with the source code there. So to set up Git, first you need to configure your user name and user email into the Git config. Whenever you deliver some code with a commit or create a pull request, this is your name, your GitHub ID, and your email is actually used there. And then you want to fork a repo. That's the beginning of getting involved in the project, right? So look at this picture here. So you go to the github.com with Kubeflow Cave Cutter project, for example, and then on the top right side there is a fork button here. You click on it, and then you can fork into your your GitHub ID. And then something like this, so it becomes HTTPS GitHub with my own GitHub ID, and this becomes my private repo. And so to set up that environment, so you will make a directory from the home to the go source github.com Kubeflow, because this is mainly with the Go language, so it has a very strict requirements on the directory. So you need to clone your project under this directory, right? The go source github.com and Kubeflow, and then go to there. Also let you to create the upstream remote. With the upstream remote, it will help you later when you want to do periodically merge with the master source repo and so on. So just quickly go through the Git and GitHub. Now we want to look at the Docker engine, how to install a Docker. You can follow the link here to install whether a Docker engine or Docker desktop for the Mac and for the Windows and so on. So on Mac OS, the Docker desktop will be installed, and if necessary, you want to change the resource configuration. And so this what I was talking about here is that there's so here is the Docker desktop. You can change the preference here with what kind of resources you want to change. So make sure you have enough the CPU and memory, and especially the disk image setup, so that when you are running some of the Docker commands and even the Docker container on your local laptop, you have enough resources to run it. Okay, so now you need to have access to a container registry so that you can build and push the repo image to that registry. So there's two of the most popular, the public and kind of free container registry is the Docker Hub and create.io. So you can follow for Docker Hub, you can follow this hub.docker.com to create your account and sign up on it. And then for the create.io also, you can follow with the create.io link to sign up on it, right? And now there's also other container registry like Google's GCR.io, and you may also use your own organization's container registry. And mostly you're more secure, maybe that's the reason. And you can also build, and so for the commander, you want to build and push a container image. As you already go through the Docker education, is that the Docker, you have a Docker file, and with that Docker file you can run a Docker build with a tag of the registry organization and the image tool for the for a container image. This tag here, usually you can put a version number there, and then there's a Docker push. You can upload to the public or some of the container registry, and later on, if any of the deployment need to run with that image, you can run a Docker pull to pull the image. So for the language and IDEs, for language, there's a Go tools you will install if you are running your coding program language is Go. So you can follow the instruction to with the golang.org to say how on your different environments, that Windows or Mac OS or Linux, right? And you can also install from source. On Mac OS, it's simple, right? You can just run with the brew install Go, and it will take you there to the to install the Go now of latest version. And then after you install the Go tool, you want to set up the Go path in env. And then you will, for the Python, I would recommend you install it with the mini conda 3. And definitely you can follow the instruction here as well to install the Python 3.7. I think Python 2.7 is already deprecated or something like that, or it's not going to support it. The reason I recommend with the mini conda 3 is that it's easy to create an EMV, a virtual EMV, and in each and inside each EMV you can feel its own package, right? We're not going to conflict each other. So that's very simple to use, simple and handy feature for to use, right? So yeah, so install the mini conda 3, you will come install the Python 3.7 inside out with it. The last important thing is about the IDE. So just use your favorite IDE. So everyone knows that the IntelliJ is a very good IDE for Java and Scala, for example. And then there's PyCharm will be good for the Python. There's also Visual Studio Code. Can be for Java, for C++, and with the extension is also very good for the Go language development. So I would recommend to you, if you just want a free IDE for the Go development, I would recommend that a Visual Studio Code with the Go extension. Of course, there's also not free, a very good GoLand IDE is the GoLand, right? So to install the Visual Studio, you can follow this link, and it will show you which one you need to download and install on that. After you install Visual Studio Code, you will definitely want to install the extensions, which is this Go, Python, and YAML. This will give you the the editors, and there's also some of the features that for the to support the Go run and debug and so on. So now talking about a cluster. So because the Kubeflow is all about the cloud native machine learning toolkit. So you do need to have access to some of the Kubernetes cluster. There's as I mentioned already, so if you just want to have a local test environment and just run a very quick example of a deployment, and maybe just a small deployment, you can use in the Minikube that's running on your VM or laptop, and you can follow the instruction here to set up the Minikube and for different environment. But in Kubeflow Dojo, this repo, we also provide some document here for you to install a Minikube. It's about Mac OS, so you install the Minikube, and then when you want to start a Minikube, just run the Minikube start command is also provided here, and you can choose which version of Kubernetes you want to start up as a Minikube cluster. So once it's started up, it will do here, and then you can also access the Minikube's dashboard through this command. There's also a remote cloud cluster. Remote cloud cluster, there's a very different things that they're for the IBM Cloud Kubernetes clusters. You can follow this link to provision, and we talk about you need to have the IBM Cloud Developer tool. You need to set up some environment, and then you want to create and a cluster and so on. If you need to a free trial to the IBM Cloud, you can also go to cloud.ibm.com from there to look for the a free trial version. There's also other cloud clusters that on the AWS, on the GPC, etc. If you have one, you can use that for the Kubeflow deployment and so on. So now this is all the environment needed and set up for the Kubeflow project development. Now we are going to the demo phase to talk about how to do the code and unit tests with the Visual Studio Code, and I also show you how to do some run and debug and so on. So let's go there. So first thing is this. As you see, I already set up the Go path, right? And if I want to, I already clone the cave cutter repo here, right? So now I'm on branch of update doc, right? So this is already created there, and so I want to say I want to create a new one. So let's say I want to create a new one. We can just go. Okay, so let's go to the newer window, right? And now I want to open the project of the cave cutter. So I will just go to here and under my Go source GitHub Kubeflow and cave cutter. So I open it. Okay, so this is my current, right? Git branch is here, and since I want to show you for the things I'm doing, so I'm just discuss this current one, current change, and I will create a new branch. So I check out to create a new branch, and I will say this is something of update from the master. Right. So now you will see I have the Git branch is switched to the update, and I'll show you what we do with the upstream. So I want to see if there's a current branch has anything different from the upstream. If not, I will do, if there's something, I will do with the upstream merge with the master branch. If there's some difference, I'll just do that. And you can see there's some new files that has been pulled from the master repos master branch and applied to my local current branches. So let's look at the README. Say, assume that in this update, I just want to do some document change. So I just say here, I will say run cave cutter help to see all commands supported. So just add something like this. And so you can see here right now, you will show me, okay, this is the one README that has been do a change is different here, right? So let's say I want to commit it. I want to commit this this change. So I say update README, and I do a commit. So do you want to these changes? Yes, right. So I go to the commit, and I can also just push to my private report, right? So once it's done, so now if I go to local my private report, and you see here is there's an update have a recent push, right? So I go to my branch update branch, and you can see here is basically I have a commit header here to the Kubeflow's master, and if I want to do a compare, I can see there's one file being changed, and you can see this is the line change, right? So this is doing some edit, right? So now I'll show you how the thing is that with the Visual Studio Code is so simple that if you want to run some change some of the settings, right, you can go to here, and for example for the text editors you can change the cursor, font, formatting, and so on, and also for extension, for the Go extension you can also change the extension here. Git and GitHub is also have all the stuff that's already integrated here. You can change it, right? So you can see from here, this is all the source code for the Kubeflow project, and I will show you, what how to run some of the unit tests. Right. So let's see here. Under the package, there's a Cube app, and there's a customized, and there's a customized test. So for the Go language, usually the unit test is the customized and underscore test under this this file name. And you can see with the Visual Studio Code, you can say I want to run this unit test. You can just click on the run test, right? And it will be run this test. Unit tests easy and handy. Now it take a bit while to run these tests. You can also debug on this image. So let's say I want to go to the debug another test case. So this here is 4. So I want to come to here. I put a breakpoint, and now I debug the test. And you can see all the breakpoints is shown here at this customized test is here. Okay, so you see you come to the breakpoint, and now here with the variables you can examine what is the test there and so on. So stop it. And the other thing is about the running or debug with the whole command line. So let's say I want to run some Kubeflow command to build the customization file. So I just go to the Kubeflow command, and the main goes I want to run this, and I want to to run this main file. And so I will just open a configuration to do the debug, for example. So basically I want to run that command, which is the Kubeflow. And if you provide just this, you just look for the main .go for the main function there. I provide the arguments here to build with a build and so on, and so I can have an experiment and so on. So now I want to run it. Let me just update the So now I want to run this as to build a customization file, and I set some breakpoints, as you can see. So here I will just go to the debug. So you can see here, this is the run of debug button here, and you do the launch. Basically, it's going to run with this launch.json. So before that, you want to make sure that the current editor is pointing to this main file, because if you do not specify a different testing model, then basically it's going to run from here your current open editors. Okay, so now you do a launch to run a debug. It's starting to. So now you stop here with the the breakpoint. You come here, and you can also continue to run, and you can come to your next breakpoint, for example. So now it's going to the January, and you can continue, and you can also let's say later you want to step inside, you can also step inside it, which we will first go to the use in stacks, and so on. So you can continue to run it. You can see the output is showing up here. You can just continue to run it. Excuse me. So this IDE is as you can see, is so simple and easy to use to debug and to run the programs. Definitely recommend that you can use this one. Okay, so let's stop it of this Visual Studio Code. Now about the development cluster. As you can see here, I already have the kubeconfig which point to the clusters that I have, so I can see the version and I can see what's the nodes here. And with that, you can show the what are the ports, what are the namespace. And with this one, I already have the Kubeflow installed, so you can see they are all running with the Kubeflow deployments and so on. Basically, you need to have access to a cloud cluster so that you can run the kubectl apply command to do the deployment. Okay. Now, let's see what else we want to cover with this. I think that's basically all of the topics I want to talk about in this development environment setup. And thank you.